Okay, so the reading from Emmett Fox is titled Guided Wisdom, and it opens with a scripture from Matthew's Gospel, chapter 7, verse 6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. Intelligence is just as essential a part of the Christian message as is love. God is love, but God is also infinite intelligence. And unless these two qualities are balanced in our lives, we do not get wisdom. For wisdom is the perfect blending of intelligence and love. Love without intelligence may do much undesigned harm, and intelligence without love may ultimate in clever cruelty. All true Christian activity will express wisdom. Never rely upon your own judgment to say who is ready for the truth and who is not, but rely for guidance upon the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. If you are praying regularly every day for wisdom and fresh opportunities for service, the right people will be brought to you. Remember that those with whom you associate closely will have your personal conduct under constant inspection. The quickest way to spread the truth is by living the life yourself. Then people will notice the change in you, and they will come round of their own accord, begging to share your secret.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, Lori, you're talking tonight. Would you care to remind us what the title is?
If I could only remember, but I know that it's about feeling and finding the good in very dark times.
Okay,
It may
go
not
for
be
it.
the exact title, but there we go. And thank you. There are, how should I put this? I think we make a big mistake when we think that spirituality, religion, any of it is unapproachable, too mysterious for us to really grasp. When we think that it is about something that is far away from us, when in fact it is what we are literally made of. And in the Hindu religion, there are three types of yoga. And I'm not talking physical yoga, but the kind of yoga that you practice to get into closer and closer realization of your oneness with the divine. One is karma yoga, one is bhakti yoga, and one is jnani yoga. Karma yoga is where you dedicate every single action, whatever it is, does not matter. You dedicate everything to the divine. I'm washing these dishes for you, Krishna. I'm washing these dishes for you, Jesus. I'm washing these dishes for you. And if that excites your devotion and your love, then that may be a part of your path. Jnana yoga is mental. It's where you are intent on clearing the mental deck so you can understand your oneness with the divine and not be set off track by dogma. And Bhakti yoga, which is spelled Bhakti, is the yoga of love, of devotion. I've heard Amachi speak about these three things for many, many, many years. but there's something that she doesn't really talk about, nor does any other teacher that I've been around, and I've been around some truly enlightened, honest to God, enlightened masters. They are the most practical people you will ever meet. They are completely practical. So here on one side, we've got the mystery that we're trying to embrace, which we are made of, and which we're needing to come more and more into alignment with, so that no matter how bad things seem on the outside, we have an oasis, an actual living oasis within ourselves that we can visit, we can co-create, we can determine, we can sense what is that place within me, what is that perspective within me, what is that feeling within me that gives me that even a little bit of just a little bit, or a lot bit if you get a lot bit, but it's definitely leaning into relief and release and allowing, which are more feminine than the striving that we've learned to do in spirituality and religion, proving our worth and all of that. So we've got that internal, we also have the external. And so I wanted to invite anybody who is online or anybody who's in the room there, to share with each other the external, because the things that support me, the things that bring me out of dark, out of depression, out of anxiety. I mean, I had a major healing session with somebody that I didn't expect on Friday night. And by Saturday, I was a wreck. I didn't even recognize it was a healing. What do they call that? A healing crisis. I didn't even recognize it. But suddenly I was completely freaked out by everything that was going on in the world and in our country. I was just completely off center. I couldn't get calm. I was just like, I was wrecked. One of the things I did last night was I went over to a friend's house and I let the evening take me. I like to be in control of things, but I'm learning slowly but steadily about allowing. And that ain't easy, but it is worth it. And it is where it's at, as far as I'm concerned. Because all the energy, all the good stuff that we're looking for in the middle of tough times, it's all around us. It's the sea in which we swim. We swim in the energy of pure positivity. This is not just spirituality. This is physics. Spirituality and physics have now gotten married. I mean, they always were, but now people can see it. If you go and look at the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's a brain guy. Like, he knows all about brain work and stuff, and energy and connecting, and it's physics and spirituality, because we're energy. So when we look outside of ourselves and we go, holy Jehoshaphat, what is going on? Why is there so much cruelty? Why is there so much hatred? Why is there so much insanity? Like, what happened to common courtesy and being conscientious? And like, what happened? What happened? And even though I know what's happening, I know that we're going through an evolutionary period. So like, now we know how the dinosaurs felt, but the dinosaurs didn't have a reflective way of thinking. We do. So we tend to measure like, holy crap, here's the way it used to be. Here's the way it is now. Now I'm looking forward and I'm going, holy crap, some more. Because we're not that good at seeding the good moving forward. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Where do we go for succor? Where do we go for support, for love, for calmness? I go to friends. I go to certain television shows where I can numb out and give my brain a rest from worry. I used to have a glass of wine or two, but now that I don't really drink, I don't do that anymore. Where do you go? Let's share some ideas. Like, do you walk? Like, when it's not so bloody hot like it is here, I'll go walking. Because there's something about the slowness of walking, that like the not driving aspect of walking, that puts my nervous system in alignment with the non-doing, the allowing that we need to do in this time of tremendous turmoil. Do we need to get out and do whatever it is we need to do to contribute to making things better? I believe that we do. But if we say that's the only thing I can do, we are actually missing, in my opinion only, but I believe we're missing about 95% of what we can do. Because what I've learned is that positive energy, and I'm not talking about being Pollyanna, please don't misunderstand me, but allowing a pinprick of light, allowing a moment as you're walking of appreciation for that flower you just saw, or the light on those leaves that makes you go, oh, that makes me feel expansive. Good. Focus on that feeling. Let yourself appreciate it, not just give words to it, but feel it. I love it. Do you love it? Do you feel that in your body somewhere? Do you get any like visions? Do you hear something? Do you taste something? Like, how are you experiencing that moment of that little flower? And that moment in which you are connecting, you are bringing in a piece of, like, if this is the darkness, here's a little piece of light. And because the light is it is exponentially stronger than the dark. I've said it a million times, so forgive me, but it's 10,000 times stronger than any darkness. The energy of that, if you're focused on it, you're like, yep, I get the concept. And I do tend to feel a little better, and I'll take a little better, because a little better is better than I don't feel better. If you understand that concept, then you're like, okay, I just shifted my relationship to everything, to myself, to the divine, to that flower, to any of the thoughts, the concepts, the spiritual realizations that come forward for me. Our life becomes an exploration. It becomes something in which we are moving out of what I call the slave relationship, where we feel that we have no control, where we have limited control over our lives, and we're waiting for God to smile on us. It's what we've been trained to do. It's not that we're crazy or stupid or anything. This is what we've been trained to do. Let's just wait. Now, there are things you have to wait for. And I don't really have the answer to why it is you wait one time and you don't wait another time, and you wait a long time sometimes and you wait a short time. I don't know. I do know that to the extent that I say I can't do something, think something, believe something, move into something, start something, there's something within me that is hooked up on an untruth of I'm not worthy, or I'm judging on the past. I never got it before. I tried a million times and I didn't get it before. You cannot judge your present on your past. Now, I know that everything I'm saying is not easy, but as far as I'm concerned, it is the only, in my experience, it's the only thing we can do. I feel we have spent way more time than we need to prove to ourselves that what we've been doing spiritually has only taken us so far. And there's no way for me to say, I am created of the energy. I'm made of the energy that creates worlds. I can't hold that as an understanding in my mind and then go, but I can't do this. I have to get curious. I have to turn the crap that's going on outside of me or inside of me, hard times externally or internally or both. I've got to make it useful. I've got to make it meaningful. I've got to turn into a curious cat instead of somebody who's increasingly better at beating myself up for not being where I want to be. Because that's really easy for me to do. It's super easy for me to do. And so I am on this path of, I'll call it sovereignty. It doesn't mean I'm trying to usher God out of the equation. That's not possible. But it means to understand God in a very new way and to understand my relationship to the divine in a very new way. And it is really subtle because our minds get set on certain perspectives. And then we get it on autopilot because the more we practice a thought or practice a belief, it becomes a pattern. It's not, it's not based in you. It's based in repetition. And whatever it is that you aligned with, that you aligned that thought, that belief with, whatever feeling that was that you aligned with that, you keep practicing that over and over. So it's like an engine, it just keeps going. And how do you interrupt that? You're in the middle of really bad times. You're really scared. You got crap happening. You don't feel well. Your insurance is being taken away. You're frightened for other people. Like you're losing your freaking mind. You're like, what is happening? And bringing it back to you, knowing that you have the ability to focus on your development and your path at the same time as you do whatever you can for the people around you, but from that place of oasis instead of from a place of fear, anger, revulsion, anxiety. Now, that doesn't mean if you're anxious, you shouldn't help people. I'm just saying if you want the most quality that you can have when you're helping people, it's really helpful to not be freaking out. I mean that quite literally. I mean, it's about soothing your nervous system. It's important because it is that light energy, that tiny piece of light in the dark. When you are being this much more light than you were a second ago, when you're bringing it in, you're letting it do the growing and the pushing instead of you doing the pushing. People feel it. You feel it, and then people feel it. And it's so important to understand another thing about this, which is, I remember when I was going through so much depression and somebody would say, well, this should make you feel better. And I would think, so what? I'm just going to feel better for a minute and then I'm going to go back into being depressed. What's the freaking point? Why should I bother? That's what I thought. And it doesn't mean that I would refuse to feel better, but I had that setting, that emotional setting of this makes no difference to anything. And what I learned a few years ago is that when you are focused and you are intentional, actually, if I put that in the reverse order, intentional and focused, then I can say it's your if. What if? What if something could be different? What if my relationship to myself could shift? What if I could actually be kind to me, actively kind, even before I seem to quote unquote deserve it, before I've made the money or got the job or the whatever it is that whatever standard we're holding our worth to. Intentional and focused. So you say to yourself, what am I feeling? Like I want to control the world. I'm feeling anxious, want to control the world. Okay. Because the next part is you say, okay, this is real. This is what I'm feeling. And then you let in that pinprick of light. Now, that can be your friend that you go to visit, right? It can be external. Something that shifts you away from the focus, either external or internal, on a pattern that you repeat and repeat and repeat. Because I can look outside us at this country right now and lose my mind, and I'm going to say 5 seconds flat. That's easy. Because I don't understand. My human self does not understand why there's cruelty, why there's hatred, all this stuff. I don't get it. I don't even want to get it. I mean, I get it here, but I don't get it. And I don't want to focus there, because that's not where my good energy is going to be of use, not only to me, but to the world. And since your energy and my energy and his energy and her energy comes from us, and it goes out from us, and it impacts the whole. And because the lighter is 10,000 times stronger, you are, whether you know it or not, helping raise all boats. So whatever it takes to raise you, it can be a chocolate bar, y'all. It can be anything. Getting used to the idea that we are not only allowed to feel a little better or a lot better, but that we have the power to do it and we don't have to wait on luck or circumstance is a big, big deal. It's huge. This is not what we've been taught, and especially not in spirituality or religion. It's all about work off your karma and show that you are a good, fill in the blank. If you're religious, you're a good that. And so then God will smile on you. I got news for you. God's smiling on you right stinking now and has never stopped. So the thing is, the question, the exploration I would leave you with is, where are you experiencing some of that smiling that's always happening towards you? And to allow yourself to feel, it's not just a mental game. I think this is a big ask. But when you appreciate somebody, I mean, really feel that appreciation, not just lip service. When you appreciate something that's just happened for you, that you're like, my God, that's amazing. Wow. And let yourself take it in and feel that and ask yourself, where do I feel that? What's that? What does that remind me of? Oh my gosh, I remember that other time when. You're being intentional, you're being focused, and you are seeding your future, SEED. You are seeding your future. You're inviting the divine energy to be sitting there, and you're not doing what I've traditionally been so good at, which is imagining the worst. It just seems to be our setting, but I want you to know that no matter what is going on around us, when we take the sovereignty back and we understand that this is an energetic shift that we can accomplish by being aware of our emotions and by reaching out to one another, allowing ourselves to feel just a little bit better, being a little kind to ourselves. These are tremendously huge shifts, and that's because they're feminine. And the feminine has been missing for millennia. We've been flying on one wing, the masculine only, and we've needed balance. And that's what we're being invited into. That's my talk. Are you talking, Brett? Because I can't hear you.
I had a question.
Patricia has a question.
The the yogas. I don't know if I got them correctly, but the second yoga. What was the name?
Can
of it?
you type in the 3 yogas into the chat? Patricia's
Absolutely.
requesting that. I'd like that as well. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm I'm thinking of what I'm trying to do now is nature is a real calming thing for me. Somebody recommended with my, I had some knee issues that I should be getting out in nature and touching the earth. And so in the morning, I'm trying to get out and do that. And so that really grounds me. Or if I took a short walk, but in noticing things in nature. So that's, and I trying to take that in. Also sharing. I was with a former student yesterday, and I was asking him about what he was up to. He's getting his master's, and his father committed suicide 2 years ago. And after we talked, I said, "And how are you doing with that?" And I mentioned that my sister had committed suicide 25 years ago. And he said he really appreciated me asking. And he said, I've learned that sharing really cuts it in half. It cuts the pain in half. And I thought, oh, he used different words, and I didn't write them down. I really liked it. But so we had a few minutes to share about that. And he's planning an event, and he invited me to come to it, and I was very moved by all of that. So, but anyway, that's the idea of sharing. It cuts things in half sometimes, the burden. That's all.
Definitely.
I agree so completely. It's emotional intimacy because you're no longer standing alone.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. That was
Yeah.
Phyllis. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw you.
Yeah.
I heard
Great.
you.
I also
Yeah.
Patricia?
I also like the nature part of it as well, and the walking. I love that. I'm a nature person. It's awesome. It's just amazing. The nature and the light. It brings it all together for me. The walking, especially.
Yep. Yeah, I love walking. It's why I don't like the summer so much because it's too hot for me. I have to be by a pool or an air conditioner.
I hear you. I take it all in. I take it all in. Hot, winter, fall, rain. I love it. I just love it.
Mm.
I know if I have an occasion to step outside, I make sure I take at least 3 really deep breaths of air and smell every little nuance that's on the air. Even if I have no other time, I can at least do that much.
Wow.
That's wonderful.
Wow, that's beautiful. Do you give yourself time to feel it within your body as well?
Quick time, yes. I don't. Usually, I'm on the way somewhere, but I've been known to stop and just breathe and stand there for a minute. And we have an energy vortex that Greg Rowe put in the backyard, so I'll go stand on it for a little while too.
Right.
Anyone else with a contribution? Yes, Ellie. Oh, and then Karen A. Yeah, there you are. Okay.
I think a couple of things. I have Laura has seen my tree that I have out here. It's a beautiful willow tree, and it's an energy tree. And if you're not familiar with what an energy tree is, it's just a tree that has energy in it. I don't know how to describe it, but you can feel it when you get close to it. And I'll go out there and just stand there with my hand on it. A lot of times, or I'll go out in the grass and barefooted and just stand there and ground. Another thing, I do is I love to bake and cook. Most of you guys already know this. But the cooking, of doing something with my hands, the baking, those are things that people have done, forever. Those are like one of those ancient old things that, despite modern things, it's always been there. People used to do it a lot by hand. Now we have mixers and now we have things to make that baking or cooking process quicker. But, as much as I like to do things, I like to do things naturally. Another thing that, Lori Kay was talking about was, um, what was it? She said, if, intention and focus. Over the last couple of years, I feel more than there's words for. I'll feel an emotion and I don't necessarily know the word for it. But when I get a book or when I see a phrase, it's like, that's what I've been feeling. And so, over the past couple of years or maybe a year, I've been doing, kind of what's known as, shadow work. We all have wounds that we've suffered from some kind of trauma. And so to be able to get in touch with that wound and be able to either heal the wound, um, and then go forward from that to grow from that healing, has been amazing for me. I believe Lyft does similar things, from my understanding of it, from what Lori R has told me. It changes the DNA. Anyway, those are the things that I do. And of course, those of you that know that I have my puppies and my doggies, animals are amazing creatures. I sometimes think they can actually talk, but I might be crazy for thinking that one. But anyway.
Doesn't matter. We love that crazy in you.
They can talk.
Karen A, thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, earlier we were looking for a happy song, and I think it's on that Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Ah,
I didn't hear
don't
what
worry,
you
be
said.
happy. Before we started. We were trying to remember that there was a happy song. Now, and she came up with it. Don't worry, be happy. I like it. Thank you, Lori R.
I also do what you do with smell, especially after it's rained. I love to go. Sometimes I'll just open the door if I don't feel well and want to go outside and just take in the smell of that fresh air, that fresh rain. I think of the newness of life. Even when I cut the grass, I've always thought of restoration and new life and how everything can change in somebody's life just by decisions that they make. And another place I love to go, we have a lake near the house called Lake Isaac, and I used to go up there for many years and sit, and that was my place to, when I first went on disability, to try to heal and to work past where I was. And I think whether we have nature or water or fire, some people can sit by a fire at night and can really settle themselves. It's good to take in the elements while we're going through things because we can find strength in that. And I don't know, with me, it just helps my mind process what I'm going through. And I also can find myself in a meditative state or a prayerful state while I'm there.
What all you were saying leads me to sort of, I think there is something to be said for ritual movement that does not require intellectual control.
Right.
It happens to me sometimes when I'm driving. It happens to me. One of the big things for me is just quiet. Multiple times a day, I'll just leave downstairs, go upstairs, and just be in the quiet. And I find that renewing. But I'm reminded of Brother Lawrence, where his ritual was washing the dishes at the monastery. And Ellie mentioned baking bread. I remember back when having to manually knead it, and yes, the same thing. Something ritual, something rhythmic, and it gives you the freedom to center on what's real, I think is the way to put it.
And the
Anybody
base
here?
of that reality, the base of that reality is you. It's not the action, it's what the action excites in you, what it creates in you,
Yes.
so that you know that you are the birthplace. And then we can stop looking outside and waiting for it to change in order for
Yeah.
us to be okay.
Yes.
I have one.
Oh, Mark, Lori, raise your hand first, then we'll come to you.
But
One more thing to add, I love to listen to the solfeggio, the megahertz sounds. If you pull them up on YouTube, I love to listen to 528 HZ and 639 the most. Those are the most healing to me, especially when my thoughts I can't process either due to a migraine or for some other reason. Those have healed and got me through places that I don't think anything else could have. So don't forget about the power of what you listen to as well.
Thank you. Mark, you had something to contribute?
yeah, um, is listen to some sort of music, but definitely in the high energy frequency side of things, whether it's like a Nordic harp music or Egyptian music or something like that. I like to just sit in that music for a bit. Another thing I've done, not really something maybe to, well, I don't know how everyone else would do this, but I know a few years ago when I visited every single college football uh, stadium, I like to make it more than just going to the stadium. I did like to ground myself in the energy of each of it. Just senses like, although a lot of the stadiums kind of look the same for the most part, they were like different in the way that they felt.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Ellie?
Another thing that I've noticed um, is being able to clear stagnant sound. Lori R had mentioned about sound. Listening to frequencies. I notice, especially during the winter months when I can't get out or, leave the windows open, etc. I can take sound, a bell, chimes, and clear the stagnant air. And that helps as well. Um, I notice Brian, when we go into meditative or when you open or close the meeting, you use the bell. So, sounds have always been um uses for that. I know in well, not necessarily in scripture, but um, with the Hebrew people with blowing the shofar, there's the four reasons why it's blown, for worship, the coronation of a king, um, you know, the different tones for the different holidays, rejoicing, fasting. So, I mean, sound has a meaning behind it. So it's very powerful. When I noticed in spiritual warfare, sound will break things wide open when things feel like they've been closed. So,
Wow.
Thank you. But,
Lori Orr says, never forget, that even, the power of sound, even at our most basic, you know, I mean, and we've heard it, we know the different music can calm us, can energize us. So, I mean, inside of our DNA, our body knows it, you know. So anyway,
thank you.
it's something that I
Patricia,
found.
you had something more to add?
Yeah, I listened to this one particular song, "Open the eyes of my heart,
I love that
Lord."
song.
Yes.
Yes.
And this other particular song, I don't know the name of it right now, but I'll have it for you guys next week.
Okay.
The "Open the Arms of My Heart," what is the name of the song again, ma'am? Eyes of My Heart, Lord. It's very soothing.
Yeah.
Very just calming. You can meditate to it. You can ground yourself when you're outside walking. It's just very, it makes your energy flow. It makes you want to meditate. It's very, I don't know, I'm getting
Centering.
pimples right now just
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful one.
It's beautiful. It's very, very spiritual. I think you guys should look it up. Maybe
Okay.
if you guys would like to. It's up to you guys.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's move to our silence now, folks, and see what the divine has to say to each one of us. As usual, in a few minutes, you'll hear a light ding from the Tibetan bowl. We'll come back and move into our prayer requests. Okay, so let us come to benediction. Let me, by the way, thank those who are having us make regular monthly contributions on their behalf. That is making such a difference in meeting our bills each month. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, we thank the great God for having brought us here today, for having given us more wisdom, more opportunities to become close to the one great God, and to all that serve this source of love, this source of all. We thank God for having watched over us, for having provided our needs this week. We thank God for helping us to grow in wisdom and in love. We thank God for helping us to be in better service for the good of this plane. We thank God for helping us to grow in connection with all pieces of the divine. And we thank God for watching over us as we depart from here, walk through this next week, and return again this coming Sunday. We say thank you, full of gratitude to all your love, and for allowing us to be in you and of you and within you. We say amen, amen, amen. And we'll see you all next week, and we will send you out those words. Yes.
Okay.
So, bye-bye for now. Don't take any wooden nickels.
Have a good week, everybody.
And Karen, keep on sending those beautiful photos.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.